Yep. Hey everyone, how's it going? Just out here on the Bay of Quinte, middle of January, raining cats and dogs out there. Anyhow, we've been out here for the last couple weeks, fishing off and on. Done really well, caught a ton of fish, ton of big fish for great pictures. I've been getting a lot of messages on Facebook, mostly private messages. People wanting to know a little bit of information on how they can catch a little bit more fish out here. I got some messages from guys coming up from the US, which is great. It's an awesome fishery. Come up, give it a try. So I thought I'd just share with everybody a little bit about what we're using, what I always use, what always works well, and then some little things that work once in a while when they're really picky. So I'll start with the gear that I like to use. Shimano Stratic CI4 Plus. This is last year's model. Absolutely phenomenal reels, as you know. You can check out my review of this year's model on the YouTube channel here, but absolutely phenomenal reel. So that's what I use here. This is a heavy action custom ice fishing rod. These rods are available at Pro Advantage Sports and Hobbies in Belleville, Ontario. Absolutely crucial piece of equipment when you come to Bay of Quinte is a real good action heavy or medium heavy ice fishing rod. Good quality rod, because these fish are 10 to 15, 16 pounds, and you need a good rod to get those fish. Now this one here is pretty much similar, except for it's this year's Shimano Stratic CI4. Again, that smooth drag is absolutely crucial. Excuse me. This is a medium heavy rod. Very important to have a good stiff rod like that here on Quinte again. Another medium heavy rod, Shimano Stratic CI4. Again, smooth drag. Now this is the little ice fishing gem. This is the Corrado 70 XG high-speed bait casting reel that most guys only use for bass. I've got it on a medium heavy. Again, I like the medium heavies and heavies for Quinte for sure. Now this thing fits absolutely perfect in the palm of your hand when you're ice fishing. It's nice because when you drop your lure down, you just press the button, away it drops. Very nice. I'm really loving this thing for ice fishing. I think I like it more than the spinning reels. It's a nice good hook set you get with it. Good strong reel. Again, the fast gears help reel the fish off bottom. So it's an absolutely great setup. If you have a little Corrado 70 XG at home and you ice fish, definitely go ahead and pick yourself up a rod for it and try it ice fishing. If you're looking for a bait cast reel to use ice fishing, definitely pick this one up. It'll be great for your bass fishing in the summer, and then you can use it all winter on the ice. So that's awesome. And as far as line goes, on the Corrado here, I have a 50 pound, just because that's what I had on from bass fishing. It's the 50 pound Power Pro Max Quattro. I have a fluorocarbon leader on with a swivel. Now, this is only a little wee trout swivel, but yeah, I could tie the line directly, the fluorocarbon to the braid. Excuse me. But what I find is that when you do that, from jigging your lure for hours on end, your line will twist a little bit. So when you jig those walleye up off bottom, and they're finally coming up to look at it, and they want to hit, I want to kill my bait so it sits there perfectly still. Now if you have a little twist in your line, whether you know it or not, your bait's doing this down there. It's spinning, and that can turn these fish right off. Not only here on Quinte, but anywhere that you ice fish. So I just prefer to use the swivel. It really helps me kill the bait a lot better and get bit more. On the Stratix, I have 15-pound Power Pro Super Slick. Again, why do I have that on there? Because that's what I was using for bass. So I don't have to switch my line and everything. Again, I just put a little trout swivel to some fluorocarbon. 10 to 12-pound fluorocarbon works awesome. And you're set to go as far as your rod and reel. That's perfect. That's just what you need. So now let's talk a little bit about baits. This is called a vibrato, I believe. Don't quote me on that. In case I'm wrong, don't shoot me any nasty messages. But these work pretty good. I mean, they're alright. They're just your average ice fishing jig kind of deal. Sometimes I'll put a little piece of minnow on one end, or if they're tiny minnows, I'll put a whole little minnow on the end. They work pretty good here on Quinte. Now this one, on the other hand, this is a Hopkins jig. And these Hopkins jigs work absolutely phenomenal here on the Bay of Quinte. They don't really look like much. They basically come in gold and silver, and then they have different color little flecks and designs. So this one's red. Some of them might have orange or blue or purple or whatever. There's a whole bunch of different colors. But these things are absolutely phenomenal here. Now this lure that you've seen on this rod, this is just a Swedish pimple chartreuse. It works alright on here sometimes. It's a bit slow today, really overcast and stuff, raining like I said, so I'm just giving it a go. Last time it was raining here on the bay, this bright chartreuse worked pretty good, so I was just giving it another go. No luck yet though. Now, believe it or not, a lot of people like that I work with and stuff like that, they say, "Are you crazy? Why are you using that ice fishing?" Now this bait here that I'm going to show you is absolutely phenomenal. Probably one of the most important ones in my box for ice fishing on Quinte. And that is the Jackal TN60 and TN70. What is that? This little baby. Little lipless crankbait, most people might call it. But try it ice fishing. Trust me, absolutely awesome. This color is called Ghost Minnow. Oh, those hooks are super sticky. Now, if there's a whole bunch of fish around your hole, you're already marking them on your flasher, go ahead, drop this down, you'll probably get bit. If it's been slow for a long time and you haven't seen many fish, drop this down, jig it for a little bit, and almost always this gets some fish back around your area and biting whatever else you're using if they're not biting this, but they do really love to bite this thing. Yeah, we got a lot of big walleye here on Quinte on baits like that, the Jackal TN60, TN70. But anyways, that's about the gear rundown for my rods and reels that we like to use. This is my tackle box that I brought today. Tackle box I bring every day to Quinte. I haven't changed anything for this video, nothing like that. I just thought I'd shoot this for the moment, so you're just going to see what I carry on Quinte all the time. This is just hooks. I shouldn't say just hooks, because that's the most important part of your bait, really. All brand new hooks, different sizes and styles and whatnot. Why I have those is because on baits like, well, I'll just use a jig and wrap for example. As you can see, I've already replaced the hook on this jig and wrap. Nice big, a lot sharper hook, a lot stronger. And that's so important here on Quinte. But these walleye are big, 10 plus pounds. So when you take the average little wee hook that comes on a jig and wrap, which really isn't much bigger than the hook on this little guy. I mean, sometimes that's just not going to cut it. When you really want to give a good hook set and stick into a 12, 13, 14, 15 pounder, you need a good strong hook. So always before you come to Quinte, make sure you've changed all your hooks that you need to on certain baits, because some of them really don't give you the best hook. Anyhow, so some of the other baits in here, let's have a look. Oh, here's some my TN70s from Jackal. Like I said, absolutely crucial. Gotta have one tied on all the time. They also work great for lake trout. So if you're going lake trout fishing, also take some of those TN70s with you. Or 60s. Whole bunch of jigging wraps, just different colors and stuff. Now, honestly, I don't find really the jigging wrap colors really matter too much here on Quinte. I go by two different styles. I go by bright colors, like that, and then I go to like natural colors, which are more like golds, silvers, blues. Right. So the golds and silvers and stuff work good out here too. What else do we got in here to show you? These are just some more vibratos, I call them. Just some different colors. Again, on Quinte, this is what I like. My golds, chartreuse, and natural. These are just some couple more vibratos, just in a bigger size. I don't really know what these are called. I picked them up at a local fishing show here in Trenton, Ontario. The guy said he made them just for Quinte. Avid ice fisherman. Again, I don't know what they're called. They don't look like much of anything. Nothing fancy. But they work really well. If you happen to see them at a tackle show or something like that, they work really well on Quinte. The black and gold actually works really good. There's another one, black and yellow. Works really good here. A couple Swedish pimples. It's pretty much my standard colors that I like. Bright orange, a darker kind of color, that's a purpley color, and a chartreuse. Little Jackal swim bait. Rigged it up just like you would for bass. On that hook there, swim bait hook. Absolutely phenomenal. And this swim bait, by the way, is called a Jackal Rhythm Wave. Phenomenal bait for bass and for walleye through the ice. So that's excellent. Just another extra Hopkins jig in case I lose the other one. These walleye will bite you off the odd time, or you'll lose the odd one to a pike or something like that. And here I just got some other little smaller jigs. Don't even know what they're called really, just, I don't know, Northlands or something, I don't know. They're just a cheaper kind of little smaller jig for if they're being a little pickier. You see, I haven't changed the hook on those yet because I haven't really used them. That's why I carry extra hooks. If I decide I'm going to use that, I'm going to change that hook. Little blade bait. You can only use that in very low current areas on the bay. It's kind of hard to even find a spot to use it. So far, I've only got a couple little walleye on it here on the bay, so it's not really too great. But when the big jumbo perch move in, and yes, there's some great jumbo perch on the bay, this thing works great for those jumbo perch. So I always keep that in my box. This here big weighted hook thing, I always keep that in there just in case. Sometimes I like to just have a minnow just sit on bottom and do nothing, just kind of flop around, and I'll put him on that. Very rarely do I do that. They seem to always like the bait moving. Now here I have some bigger baits. Big Williams spoons. Big Swedish pimple. The reason I have these bigger, heavier ones is for when you're fishing higher current areas like Point Anne or Trenton River, something like that. You really need these big heavy spoons to get down there and be able to feel bottom and detect a bite. I'm not sure what that thing's called, but that works pretty good. That bait there works pretty good in higher current areas. Big sidewinder, orange and gold. Some little perch baits here, just in case I just want to catch some perch, not getting much of else. Great for Quinte, little jigging wraps for perch. Some other little perch spoons. Don't even know who makes them, but they're alright. And again, jigging wraps. And that's it, guys. So if you want to come out to Quinte and you want to catch some big walleye, those are basically all you need for baits. Real important, like I said, get yourself a good quality rod and reel combo that can handle these big fish, which I haven't even really mentioned yet. A flasher. You gotta have a flasher. Now, this is the one I use. I believe it's one of the least expensive Vexilars on the market, so it doesn't do anything too fancy, I guess, I don't know. But it works perfect for me. Well worth the investment for like 400 bucks or whatever it might cost you. Definitely pick one up. Especially if you're coming to the Bay of Quinte. Having a flasher is absolutely crucial. If you have a flasher, you'll catch way more fish on the bay. Anywhere for that matter. Lake trout, whitefish, you know, walleye, like here on the bay or anywhere else, you're gonna walleye fish. But how it works is when you're jigging your bait up and down, you'll see your bait and you'll see the fish. Now if you don't see that fish, you'll just keep jigging your bait probably really close to bottom and the fish won't bite it. The only way to get these fish to bite a lot of the times is to jig your bait up 2, 3, 4, 5 feet off bottom, and as you bring your bait up, you can see it on your flasher. The fish will aggressively swim up, stop, kill your bait dead. They'll come up, just jiggle it a little bit, just like that, barely. They'll swim off bottom, wham, and hammer it. If you don't have a flasher, you don't know they're there, you can't do that, might not get bit. Well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully I can help at least one person with their trip ice fishing out here to Bay of Quinte. If you haven't been, give it a try. It's a phenomenal fishery. Do a little bit of research before you come. If there's anything you think I might be able to help you with, maybe spots to walk out from, or any questions that you had about lures or setups or anything like that, go ahead, comment below, or add me on Facebook. Feel free to message me. I usually answer back fairly quickly. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Hope everyone's catching some fish this winter. Have a good one.